Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to finish up this burl. The epoxy's been drying for over a week now. So everything's good and hardened up. I would say we are good to start finish sanding this, finish grinding it, carving it, get everything all smoothed out and get some finish on it today. Okay, back to the workbench. So before we start in on that fella, let's do a little mail call here. So Amazon came by. I got really excited and ordered a bunch of stuff the other night. I won't say that I was drunk.
You are looking at a prime customer, everybody. 2 days free shipping for this guy.
But, you know, alcohol and Amazon don't mix well. Anyway, I'll show you what I guys got. Show you guys what I got. So to start off, I saw these because I was watching a bunch of leather videos. So these are just little wool like balls on the ends of just little wires. And they use them for like rubbing dyes and stuff on the leather. So I bought these for that, but I think these can be used for like putting oil finishes on things, small parts and stuff. So like if we want to oil this, and we wanted to like put a stain on it or something and get down in there, we could do that. I don't know, but you know, so I bought 100 of them, you know, because why would you order like 5 at a reasonable number when you can have 100 of them? So I got that. Then I got this little case of carving bits for the Dremel. So we were using this one last time to carve the burl out, but this came with, I don't know, 20 or so just different various types of like carving and grinding bits and extensions. So you can got like a pointy one in there. So there's a bunch of those, and it comes with a little case so I can put the other one in there. So I got that. Then I got these like sanding sticks. So they're just like, they look like Q-tips, to be honest. There's 10 of them, but they have like the ends of them have grit. So if I'm like trying to sand down in there and get like real fine, like in smaller places or something, I can get this in there where I can't get sandpaper normally and kind of spin them. Comes with 120, 180, 400 grit, and 800 grit. So I thought these were kind of cool. So I bought those. And then this, I really didn't realize how many I had gotten, but I bought this. So when I was done sanding the other day, or grinding the other day, I took this like sanding wheel on and was kind of shaping it. But this stuff that I got, this Dremel kit, was real kind of coarse, so I was looking for like a finer sanding tube. So instead of buying a pack of them, I bought, you know, just enough to last me 7 lifetimes. But the cool part is they're all in individual little bags. They're all like different size drums and stuff in there, like different size tubes. So they give you 80 grit, 120 grit, 240 grit, a 600 grit, a 400 grit, and they give you all of these little, you know, the actual drums to run them on in your Dremel with like extra, like little, what's that, like the chalk, like the chuck. So I will never need sanding discs for the rest of my life for my Dremel. And if I do, I am just rocking it, I guess. So that's what I bought so far. I bought a lot more stuff, just Amazon hasn't brought it yet, so future videos. What else did I buy? Oh, I went to Harbor Freight. I'm like all up in your face. So I went to Harbor Freight the other day and bought 3 mini brass hand planes. You probably already saw that video if that's not out yet. So bought those. I got some more of this like instant epoxy stuff because I've been using the Gorilla Glue one. This is the same thing, just Harbor Freight's brand. Probably a little bit cheaper, but it's just epoxy. So about this because this comes in handy to have on hand. 3 of these little safety glasses, which I don't, these weren't much. But I got like clear, and then I got cool, like, you know, cause I'm awesome. I'm gonna wear like sunglass safety things, like for outdoors. So I'll look like, you know, the Terminator as I'm using my sawmill.
I'll be back.
So I got 2 of those. And I bought other stuff too, but I don't remember what. Oh, I bought another one of those clear plastic sorting trays. I swapped it out with the one from the leather kit, because the leather kit one was too small. So I gave that back to my daughter and bought a bigger one for the kit. That, I think, is all I did. I don't know. I'm sure I bought something else, but I don't remember. Anyway, let's get to carving this burl. Okay, I want to start with that round carving bit first, because I want to get some of that epoxy and stuff that's a little hardened out. I'm just gonna put this in just enough to kind of chuck it down so that I have some distance. Give that a little snug down. And we'll see what we can do here. So what I'm doing right now is trying to get as much of this epoxy out as I can, so that we can expose more of that wood grain. I ran it up the sides a little bit to kind of cover some thin spots. There's that CA glue. I basically took that CA glue off, and it just leaves that dark line, which once you put oil on it, almost disappears. So we're just gonna keep at this and see where we get with it. So we've got it all the epoxy and stuff is kind of ground down. Just a little bits, where we had the CA glue and stuff is all pretty much down. We've still got our epoxy in the bottom that's giving it some strength. I think from here is just sanding and sanding and sanding until we get it just smooth as we can get it. So I'm going to utilize the sanding drums I just bought, because I've got, you know, a million of them. And I'm just going to work through the grits. I'm going to start with that rough grit, 80 grit, and just try to smooth a lot of this out and get a lot of the sections just smooth. And then I'll come through with some finer stuff and get it as fine as we can make it. And then we'll put some finish on it. All right, so we've got the burl all sanded up. It's nice and smooth now. I took it down to like 400 grit and then came back with 220 just to kind of soften everything up and smooth it all out. But we're looking good. So to finish this, we are going to use some tung oil. Okay, I've got a little bit of tung oil mixed up and just a cheap little kind of chip brush to brush this on. And let's start with just the outside here. So I'm interested to see if this grain will pop or not. So don't need a ton. We're just going to put on thin coats. But let's go. Oh yeah. Yeah, it is. I hope you can really see that come through the camera. How beautiful that grain is. I mean, unreal how gorgeous that is. Brush may have been a little too big for this. I probably should have got a smaller one, but this works. Like, oh man, just the pattern, the grain patterns in this. When this is waxed and oiled fully and buffed, it is going to be just amazing. Oh man, can you see that? Can you see the lines in the grain? And just the swirls and the color and just everything. Even just the way the epoxy kind of pops there, that little clear spot. Like look in here, just these little growth rings and little dark spots. Oh, this is gonna be beautiful. I'm super excited about this. So we're gonna stay calm or stay calm. We're gonna keep that there, just a thin coat. Then we're gonna start at the bottom and pull our way up here. Wow, just amazing. Like this is probably 100 times better than what I thought it would turn out to be. Oh, this is not like this is not just a bowl. It's not just a carving. Like at this point, this is like a work of art to me. This is probably one of the most beautifully grained pieces of wood I have ever carved. And this is just a small burl. Like I can't imagine. I cannot wait till we get into that larger one. Hopefully you can see just the pure beauty that this wood grain just explodes out at you. Can you guys see? Oh, I really hope this comes through on camera. Just how beautiful it is. Like look at the grain and the dark rich browns coming out of that. There's that better. Trying to get the light on it in a good way where you can see it. It's just beautiful. All right, we're back. So this is a week later from the last clip. I've basically been every single day coming out here at like 7 o'clock at night. I'll put a coat of the oil on and then let it sit for the next day, or let it sit for about 10 minutes. Then I came through with some rags, buffed it all off, and then let it sit for till the next day. So essentially did that for the past 6 days now, and this is the finish we've ended up with. So we've got kind of a nice little satin kind of shine on it. It's not bad. So I think the inside I'm going to leave that way because you can really see some good striping and stuff in the grain. I don't know how close I can show this. So up close you can see like the real good striping in the grain, and obviously this big dark patch here, that's super cool. And just all the little bits of detail and, you know, little bits of just detail and stuff. That epoxy in the bottom just looks cool. Always looks like there's water in the bottom of it. Always looks wet. You know, just that little strip of clear epoxy in there just looks super cool. So I'm going to leave the inside the way it is with this kind of satin sheen, but I'm going to try to put the outside here on the buffing wheel and see if I can kind of bring this up to a little bit of a higher shine. Alright, so this is it after the polishing wheel. Still don't know. Let's see if you can see that shine on there now. Just that absolute just gloss finish, and it's just like just glass smooth. So super cool. Turned out good. I think the last thing I'm going to do to finish this off is put a little beeswax furniture polish on it. So I've got just some beeswax furniture polish. Usually I'll apply this with like stainless steel, but because I just polished this on the buffing wheel, I'm just going to use a soft rag because I don't want to dull that sheen at all. Even though that's like quadruple lot, whatever it is, 4 times 0 steel wool. I just don't want to take that away. So I'm just going to put a little bit on a rag and just kind of generously rub some on all the way around. So this is going to protect the wood even more than the oil that we just put in it. Put some moisture into the wood. It's going to give it a nice shine and protect it, keep dust off of it, and just make it a little bit softer to the touch. So we've done that. Probably should have done the inside first because now my hands are going to be all covered in beeswax, but run that along the edge. Okay, we'll let that sit for a couple minutes, kind of let it soak in a little bit, and then we'll come back with a clean cloth and just kind of buff off whatever extra is on there, and that should be good. And then depends on what your use is, you know. For furniture, I would do this. I do this maybe once every other month, but for something like this, I'd maybe once a year come out, put another coat on. So, all right, let's let that sit for a little bit, and then I'll come back and clean it off, and we'll be done. All right, it's been about 10 minutes. Just come through with a clean cloth, wipe off any excess wax. Just kind of rub it around, give it a good shine. Man, that looks so good. Just gorgeous. All right, that's all for today. We finally finished the little burl of the two that we carved off. I could not be happier with how this turned out. I had no idea what it was going to look like when we got into it. I had several plans of where I wanted to take it, but this is just where the wood took me. What is it? I don't know. It's a cool little wood sculpture. But I could not be happier with it. It's absolutely beautiful to me. This is going to go on my desk probably and hold my keys or something. I don't know. It'll wind up being probably a change thing. It'd be cool for put change in there because you can get the change out real easy. Maybe. So I may have just revolutionized the where to put your change industry. Maybe. Anyway, I appreciate you watching. If you made it this far in the video, you like my type of content. If you haven't, please do subscribe. Click the thumbs up and leave a comment down below. I'll see you on the next one.